Alright, today what I want to do is show you real quick what we're doing in class today with the kids, and that is 3 different properties that deal with exponents. The first one is called the product of powers property, and you're going to see as we go through these that they sound a lot alike. So there is some learning to do in terms of what does each property mean and what are the rules of each property. The product of powers property simply says that when you have a number or a variable raised to a power and multiplied by that same base number raised to a different power, that all we need to do for our answer is to write down the base and add the powers. So a to the m times a to the nth power equals a to the m plus n. Alright? The second property is called a power of a power. And what that means is when you have a number, a base number, a, raised to a power m, and that whole thing is raised to a power n, to get your answer, you write your base down, and then you multiply the two exponents. So a to the m, all raised to the nth power, is the same as a to the m times n. I know it sounds like a mouthful, but it's the algebra that is involved in solving these types of problems. The last example is what's called a power of a product property. And what that means is when you have a product inside parentheses, a times b, two numbers times each other, or a number and a variable times each other, and that quantity is raised to a power, then what you really have is each individual number or variable inside the parentheses raised to that power, and you multiply. So ab raised to the n power is a to the n power times b to the n power. Alright? Now if we look at some examples that involve these 3 properties, here's what we're going to find. Example 1 is the first property, product of powers. 4 to the third times 4 squared is really just 4 to the 3 plus 2, which is 4 to the 5th power. And we could leave it like that, 4 to the 5th, or if it's a relatively small number, you can work that on your calculator. 4 to the 5th is 1024. Okay? Second example is the power of a power property. 4 to the 5th raised to the 3rd power is the same as 4 to the power of 5 times 3, or 4 to the 15th power. Now I didn't simplify it any further than that because 4 to the 15th power is a very large number and there's no sense in writing it that way. It's easier to write it as 4 to the 15th. And the last example is the power of a product property. The product is 4x. That's what's inside the parentheses. If that's all raised to the 3rd power, then what you have is you have each individual thing raised to the 3rd power. 4 to the 3rd power times x to the 3rd power. 4 to the 3rd power is 64. X to the 3rd power is x cubed. So those are 3 examples that of the types of problems that your children were asked to work today.